Good morning. Last month, we spoke with the executive chairman of Xanadu Mines about the company's 25% put option and its exclusive discussions with Tsagaan Mining. Since then, a significant development has emerged. On 19th of May, Xanadu Mines announced a cash takeover offer of 8 cents per share from Bastion Mining. Today, we have invited Colin Moorhead back for an interview to explore this new offer in detail and discuss how it may affect Xanadu's existing partnership and the strategic alignment with Tsagaan Mining. Good morning, Colin. Welcome back to the interview.
Good morning, Hannah, and thanks for having me.
With the Xanadu Mines cash takeover offer of 8 cents per share recently announced by Bastion, what are the offer conditions and how might this impact Xanadu's strategic partnership with Tsagaan Mining?
Sure. The conditions are that from our side, our independent expert opinion, which is due in 2 or 3 days' time, considers the value 8 cents to be fair and reasonable, and that there's no superior offer that lands on the table between now and next week. And it also is conditional upon us not exercising the put option. From their side, the bid becomes unconditional once they acquire 50.1%, and that no material adverse conditions have arisen in that period of time. There's a 50-50 JV between Tsagaan and Xanadu, and whilst the control of Xanadu may change, the relationship between Xanadu and Tsagaan in a JV sense doesn't change.
Is the board confident Bastion can secure 50.1% ownership, especially after cancelling the 25% put option?
Well, we haven't cancelled our 25% put option yet. We will do that once the placement goes through. So the company will have 17 million Australian dollars in the bank when it makes that decision to cancel the EGM resolution. With the placement, Bastion's starting position will be approximately 13%, and we have letters of intent from members of the board and from our second largest shareholder in Singapore, which gets them a fair way towards that 50% fairly quickly. So I would expect they'll get to 50.1% relatively quickly, given the premium to market and in the absence of a superior offer.
What happens to Xanadu if Bastion do not reach the compulsory threshold?
Well, they can't get to 90% compulsory acquisition threshold unless Tsagaan agree to sell their share. They hold 18%, but once they get to 50.1%, they're in control of the company. So they'll be able to control the narrative or the agenda from there on with Tsagaan about whether Tsagaan's a seller of their share or whether they would just want to keep things the way they are.
Why does the offer complete 45 days after receipt? When is the deadline for a superior bid?
Well, a superior bid can come in any time. The bid opens next week, and obviously, if there is a serious bid, the sooner it comes in, the better, because as the bid opens next week, as I said, Bastion will get a significant percentage fairly quickly. So to be successful, the earlier the better. The 45-day period is really set by Australian takeover law, not by anything else. So the bid period needs to be a minimum of 30 days after the target and bidder statements come out, etc. So that's where the 45-day period comes from. It's just nothing else.
Why is Xanadu placing Bastion 17.2 million in scrip?
Well, that's money that helps Xanadu get through the bid period, which could be months. So it covers transaction costs, it covers working capital, and also covers our contributions to the JV and the project that will occur through that time. So it also gives Bastion they'll become a significant shareholder in the company. So it's really mostly about financing the company through the bid period.
Let us talk about Zijin. Why didn't Zijin proceed with its non-binding offer during the exclusivity period? Are they still interested?
Well, I'd like to have that conversation with Zijin one day, and they can tell me. To be honest, I'm not sure. I certainly believe their non-binding indicative offer was genuine, and their interest in the project is genuine. What they were able to tell me is they were unable to make that commitment at this time. So I suspect there's a lot of things going on at Zijin at the moment. We've seen them spinning out their gold business and listing that, and other issues going on in the company. So I think they're probably, in terms of timing, just not ready to make that commitment. And in reality, a takeover of Xanadu, as we said earlier, doesn't change the JV structure at all.
So besides Zijin and Bastion, who else is in the data room, and how likely is a better offer?
Listen, it's probably fair to say that the whole copper world has watched this. I can't really say who's in the data room and who's not, but there certainly has been significant interest from both debt and equity providers that have come in there. We do have a very high quality data room, so we've been happy to share that with people, on a confidential basis. The 8% value, which is effectively $160 million for 38.25% of the project, puts a peg in the sand in terms of value out there, and the copper world can consider that. And if they think that's a good deal, then maybe a superior offer will come through. But at the moment, we're supporting the value that's been offered, and obviously we'll look at anything that comes in. But I think Bastion as an acquirer has a lot of merit, given their strength in terms of Mongolian operations and Mongolian ownership.
Last question from me. Do you believe the market is fully recognizing and reflecting the potential value of the Kharmagtai project so far?
Well, I suppose there's two answers to that. As a geologist, I would probably say there's always more value there. The deposit remains open. There could be a huge underground future at Kharmagtai. The copper market could go anywhere with decarbonisation of the economy, and there's certainly some technological updates and improvements that could be made to the project. On the other hand, when you think about it, we're receiving roughly 1/3 of the PFS NPV for a PFS stage project, which is, this is where the market's valuing it right now. And I think for an exploration company, that's a good outcome. I mean, there's not been a lot of companies successfully get an outcome in Mongolia, and I think that this is a good outcome for the shareholders and a good outcome for Mongolia.
Thank you so much for your answer. This is the end of the interview. We're looking forward to hearing more about the updates of Xanadu mines.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you so much.